Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and welcome to our live show here from the market battleground here as we take a look at the trade opportunities that are heading up for this week. Now we've got a lot of data coming out this week. We've got, in fact, we've got 3 rate decisions coming out. We've got the U.S. rate decision, we've got pound rate decision, and we've got actually I think and we've got euro rate decision. Yeah, it is 3. I thought it was only 2 at minute. So we got 3 rate decisions coming out this week that's going to certainly move the market. But leading up to these rate decisions, the markets aren't moving as volatile as we'd like to see it. So we're going to have to take a look and see exactly what we need to do this week and make sure that we're making the right decisions and placing the right trades when the time is right. So everything's got to be right. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what's going on with the market this morning. At least this afternoon, as we go ahead and dig into the details and address what we could expect out this week. I'll see you right after this. All righty, traders, welcome back, and having a bit of a laugh here because we got started over here, got a little shell shock because we got started on the video, and I wasn't quite ready, but I was like, just trying to jump into the video. But yeah, hey, traders, hopefully everyone is having a good time so far as we are on this Monday afternoon, and looking at trading opportunities coming up this week. It's going to be pretty exciting to see what we actually have because, like I said, we got the 3 rate decisions coming up. We got the US rate decision, we got the UK, and we've got the Eurozone rate decision, all expecting to keep the rates unchanged. So everything's going to come down to the verbiage, but I think a lot of the information has already been discounted into price already. But we're going to go take a look at dollar crosses, euro crosses, and we're going to take a look at pound crosses. So a whole bunch of everything today as we go ahead and address the markets. So let's go ahead and jump into the chart. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen over here, and let's go ahead and flip it over to the chart. So let's go ahead and do that and see exactly where we're at with regards to our trade. So I'm going to go to, firstly, I'm going to go to the dollar index. Take a quick look at the dollar index, see if anything's changed since we last had a conversation around that. And if we look over here, this is the 4-hour time frame. And we see that the market's pretty range bound here at the top here. We did expect a big fall in the dollar and to take out this rising wedge here at the bottom right here. We didn't quite see that happen. And so with that being the case, we're going to continue to monitor the market's movement and see if we do get down below this right here. We do have this expectation that we're going to see the market sell off, but it's not quite happening right now. Now, also going to go ahead and take a look over here at some other details, and I'm going to go ahead and do some housekeeping here. We've got a lot of stuff going on here, so let's just go ahead and do some housekeeping as we clean up the charts a little bit right here. A lot of information that we've gone ahead and plotted on here, but let's see what information is important for us. Okay, so as I monitor the larger time frame, or as I compress it, you notice that we've got this downward swings right here. Now, as the market creates this sort of like rising wedge, it also creating this bullish channel right here. I'm going to go ahead and correct this bullish channel here, and I'm going to go ahead and see if this is actually setting up another channel for us here. Let's grab that there, move it up here to the top, and there you can see right here. Look at that. So I'm going to go ahead and kill this, and you can see that this channel that we have here is actually being tested here at the tops and tested over there at the tops as well. So again, we'll probably be expecting price to come off this level right here and sell off. So let's go to do this. So there's the resistance right here, and here we got resistance at the top here. So with that resistance there, I would be expecting dollars still to fall. Now we expected this rising wedge to create some sort of indication and give us this the sign that bearishness is coming, but it hasn't happened. But what I do notice right here that we need to pay attention to now is this consolidation that's taking place here. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that off. Let's go ahead and mark it off right here. Sorry, I'm pushing the wrong buttons here. Where is my tag? And it's not there. Huh, it's interesting. Okay, I don't see it up here. It looks like it's disappeared on me. Okay. And that is weird. Oh, there it is. Right in front of me. Right in front of me right here. Didn't even see it. Okay. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and pull in this right here. So this is going to be my range that I'm going to now look for price to break out of. So this is going to be the range on the 4 hour. We came up at the top right here. We find the resistance at the top right here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and duplicate that. Pull it over here to the side. Let's go ahead and mark this, pull this down. So pull it over here to the side right here. This is going to turn around. This faces the way it should be facing. My mouse is giving me all. I bought a new computer mouse and keyboard, so I'll have to get that installed before our next session. So here we go. So we got nice resistance at the top right here. So we'll be looking for dollar to fall and then eventually actually to break through that. And so if we break through this level right here, we'll be chasing after the low of this wedge. And that is down there around about 12,035. So we're looking definitely for price to drop back down south. I'm not seeing any sort of confirmation on the oscillator at the moment right now to confirm that. But yes, we will be expecting dollar to fall. Now, if dollar's going to fall, then let's go take a quick look at US dollar traded against the Canadian. And here it is right here. And if you go ahead and compress this chart, get a bit of data coming out of this, we can see that we also had a downward swing. Market pulled back. We had another drop right here. And then we had another pullback going up right here. So what are we going to go ahead and pay attention on this one right here? Well, on this one, because we are expecting, let's go ahead and pull up the daily right here. Let's get some more data here. On this one, we can see that we do have two tops right here. We have a bottom right here. In fact, we could even have two double bottoms, two double tops, which again could confirm that this is consolidation. Now, if we have consolidation, what is the best way to go ahead and trade consolidation? Well, best way to trade consolidation is to go ahead and sell at resistance and buy at support. And then if it's a larger range like we have here on the daily time frame, what you do is you go ahead and look for channels within inside that consolidation. And so if we're at the top of the range, then you look for downside channels. If you're at the bottom of the range, you look for upside channels. And that's how you can trade actually some trends and channels as well. So we currently at the moment right now, we are at the bottom of the channel. And so if we're at the bottom of the channel, would we start thinking about trading it long? Well, we've got two things we have to consider. So let's go take a look at the chart here. So the two things we've got to go consider right here is that if the market is in this channel, all right, is in this channel, are we going to break through this, what is now going to be very strong support? Because if this is double tops, then this is our confirmation point. And the confirmation point is what's going to confirm that we're actually heading further down south once we break through that level and that the double tops are actually holding. And if the double tops are holding, then that will mean then we can actually identify a target to the downside that we can profit from, because the tops and bottom right here, that's going to indicate what the breakout distance is going to be. All right, so that's good to know. So I'm going to say this, we are expecting weaker dollar, right? Expecting weaker dollar. But again, we have to follow the technicals and see what the technicals tell us. So at the moment right now, if I was to follow a weaker move on the dollar and look to see if I've got a technical support supporting that, I do. Here is a downward wave. There's a pullback. Then we had another extension, and now we're in that pullback. So if price stays below this level of support right here, and let me go ahead and kill out all of these other lines in between here. Again, doing some housekeeping. If we have to trade, if we stay below that level, and that level is at 1 point, for those that can't see, 1.3010. If we stay below 130.10 for the US dollar CAD, then we should absolutely be heading south, further down south. So what we are in at the moment right now is a crucial correction move. Okay. Now, I mentioned this before. I'm going to mention this again. What do you see here on the daily time frame? We see a very key level confirming that this level right here, resistance, 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 and now resistance is holding. We've got divergence here in negative divergence. So we've got the daily confirming negative divergence. So if you look at the oscillators coming back to test the overbought condition, that's a good sign. When you see negative divergence and the oscillator comes back to retest it, that is an indication that we are possibly in a retracement move, and now we're going to go ahead and look for that turnaround to the downside. So I'm going to be super, super bearish on the dollar against the Canadian, provided, of course, we also stay below this level. I'm going to go ahead and mark off another level of support right here, and I'm going to go ahead and put it up right there. So this is where I want to go ahead and stay below. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to the 1 hour time frame, and I'm going to look for that last high, which is up here at the top. And so if we stay below this level, I want to be bearish. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this off. I'm going to go right down to the bottom right here. And this is my swing. All right, so now I'm on a 1 hour time frame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for everything that I want to look for that's bearish and confirm a sell. So if you look over here on the US dollar 15-minute time frame, US dollar CAD, 15-minute, sorry, not 15, 1 hour time frame, we can already see that we've got a bit of divergence appearing right here. Let's go to the 4 hour and see if we've got it on the 4 hour. Well, the 4 hour doesn't say we have divergence, but we've got this big indecision. We've got this big oversold condition right here. So we're in an oversold condition. We had a spike to the upside right here, test the 8.6 pullback right here. So I'm going to expect the dollar to continue to fall, provided we stay below here. So I want to sell dollar. So I'll go ahead and sell. What price are we at here? 127.95. So if I sell at 125, 127. Oh, let's take a look again. 127.95. Let's go 127.96 is at 96. So let's go selling at 127.96. Okay. So selling at 127.96 right here. I'm going to go ahead and say okay on that. And I'm going to pull this up over here. Now, again, stop losses, to protect my position, I'd have to go ahead and put my stop losses above this level right here. So if I want to go ahead and protect the position and only trade bearish below that level, then my stop losses would have to be at around about 128. Let's go 60. I'm going to go 65, 128.65. So stop losses at 128.65. Let's go ahead and put in another level here. Here we go, 125.65, right about there. So we'll be selling with our stop loss above there, and then we'll be looking for price to target this level right down here at 124.45. So let's see here, 124.45. Yep, that'll be our target to the downside. So let's go ahead and mark that off as well. And our target will be at 124.45. All right, there we go. Boom, done. All right, so this is our setup right here. Now, as things start progressing down south, there is a way that you can add to your position. So if you go down to let's say 15-minute time frame, and you start seeing the market creating downward swings, you can go ahead and sell on those pullbacks and sell down further down south and build up your position as you start targeting that 124.45 level. So this is what we're expecting. We'll keep track on this. We'll see how this plays out. Remember, we do have data coming out tomorrow. On Wednesday, and we do have the rate decision. In fact, let's take a look and see the rate decision that we're going to have here. So this is the rate decision that's expected out on Wednesday. There it is there. We have the FOMC statement, plus we have the federal funds rate, expected to keep the rates unchanged at 0.25%. And then on Thursday, you can see right here, we also have rate decision coming out as well. And that is for the UK, we have the official bank rate. And then for the Eurozone, they're all keeping their rates also unchanged at 0%. And that is the main refinancing rate right here. So we do have data coming out both on Wednesday and on Thursday for three major currencies. So now that we're back over here, right, and we're looking at dollar, let's go take a look. We looked at dollar trading against the Canadian. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at US oil as we dig into US oil right here. And US oil has gone ahead and, to be honest with you, if you look over here, we're still expecting US oil to drop back below $61. So $61. Sorry, it's one of those days today. $61. $61 is the number we're looking for right here. So we're looking for price to drop back below $61 right here. So we're still expecting a bearish move on US oil. All right, having some fun. All right, now if we go to gold, let's take a look at gold. What are we saying on gold? Well, we did have a conversation on gold. We actually spoke about that on Friday. And we did say that with price trading now below this trend line again, it started taking off, but now it's trading back below the trend line again. So we're looking at this and we're saying, well, if we're back below here again, could we be heading to a deeper level? Well, if I look over here, this is the last swing that we had that was from the lowest point right here. So let me go ahead and mark it off. So here was the lowest point right here. Starting from this point right here, we did have price moving back up. And so as we started dipping down south, we noticed that we had a wave 1, 2, and 3, and then price came back below this level right here. Now, normally when we have a 3-wave structure moving north and price starts coming back to that level of, below the level of resistance, which is that B low, right? So when price comes back below this level right here, and we have a 3-wave structure going up, what normally happens is we have a correction move coming further down and looking to take out this low. And that's what we call an irregular flat. So this could be possibly heading to an irregular flat, which means gold could even possibly go ahead and trade back below 1720. So 1,720, we could see gold coming back down below that level before it takes off. So if you're a short-term trader of gold, you might want to be on the sideline or maybe selling off gold, waiting for it to get you back to around about 1720. And at 1720, whether you're a short-term or long-term position trader, it certainly looks like a level that we might want to get back in on gold. So gold right now could be pushing lower down to around about 1720. Okay. All right. Now, as I want to go ahead and break out, as I've gone ahead and discussed the US dollar CAD, there's another currency pair that I do want to go ahead and take a look at, and that is, of course, Aussie traded against the JPY. So let's go to Aussie JPY right here. And the reason why I pulled up Aussie JPY right here is because the currency strength dashboard, if I go into the weekly setup right here, and I look at the close from last week, notice that we had a very strong Aussie and we had a very weak JPY. So having a strong JPY and a strong Aussie and a weak JPY means that there might be a turning point in the market for this particular currency pair. All right. And so if I go to the Aussie JPY right here and I break this thing down from a larger time frame perspective, I'll notice right here that we're also heading into an irregular flat. And so that makes sense that we could be seeing price moving further down south, and that the strong Aussie that we've seen, the strong Aussie against the JPY that we've seen over the last week, was just this correction as price builds up another opportunity to fall shorter and take out that low and eventually then start rallying back up. So we are somewhat range bound on the Aussie JPY based on a long-term outlook, and we're anticipating Aussie to still go ahead and weaken against the JPY a little further down south to take out the lows down here around about 78.45, give or take a few. And then at that point there, then turn around and start heading back up north. So I would think that the Aussie JPY has a downside potential. And if we look at the actual profit potential, or at least the range right here, we could be looking for around about, let's see here, about 290, 300 pips. So this is about 300 pips. It probably could be more than that. but we're looking for about a 300 pip to the downside. All right, that's about 300 pip to the downside. Now, let's go ahead and take a look right here. If I go down to a 1 hour time frame and I try and make a little bit of sense, I'm going to clear up all of these fibs going up right here. I'm going to do some housekeeping here. Okay, now what I do want to do here is I want to pay attention, and maybe I can even go to the 4 hour right here and get a little bit of data. Let's see, maybe the 4 hours should be fine. Let's see here. Okay, so what I'm looking for here on the 4 hour, I'm looking for swing confirmation. And so I noticed that we did have a swing that took place from the top right here. And we did go back down and test this low right here. Then the market went ahead and actually went past the 1.6 rate. So it looks like we've got an inside extended wave. And actually, hold on a second. Let me do this. Pull it up to this low right here. Right there. So it looks like we've got a nice little inside swing here. Price did go to the 1.27 right here, and then pulled back and took out the low. Took out the high. So what does this mean to me? Well, let me go ahead and mark this off. This would be my wave 1 right here. This is my wave 1, my large wave 1. This will be my large wave 2. Now, in the insides, we've got wave 1, 2, this is 3, and this is 4 right here, and this is 5. So because we've got an internal 5 wave structure right here, now when price moves up, what am I expecting? Expecting price to take out wave 4, and now this whole thing is now going to be my big 3 wave 3. This is going to be my big wave 4. And so now I'm looking for the market to go ahead and complete itself and move to a big wave 5. So what I'm going to do with my fibs now is I'm going to make adjustments. Okay, so let's go ahead and make an adjustment right here. My adjustment is going to be that I'm going to extend my fib all the way through to this level right here, take out the inside swing, and now I know what my target is to the downside on the AUDJPY, and that is going to be down here. So I'm looking for price to drop back down to this 127, and now if I go ahead and work out my profit potential, you can see right here, now we're looking at about a 400 pip drop to the downside. So now we've got a good sense of directional bias here on this particular pair right here. And now we'll be looking at selling on the lower time frames and selling bearish. So I'll go down to the lower time frame, look for all bearish signals and try to sell that back down south, looking for an opportunity of about at least around about 400 pips to the downside. Again, this is just what I'll be looking for. I am not a CTA, so I can't give you an advice or tell you what to do with your trades. All I'm doing is sharing you some information for educational purposes only. Just remember that as we go ahead and look for your own trade setups, because you have to do your own research. All right, I'm just passing on some information, some educational information that may be useful to you. All right, now this is the AUDJPY. So AUDJPY, I'm expecting a sell-off on AUDJPY. I'm also expecting a bearish move on US dollar CAD to the downside. We spoke about gold. We said that gold is possibly going to be dropping back down to about 1,720. And so let's go take a look at Bitcoin, because I'm sure there's a lot of traders out there that are also interested in cryptos. Now, I'm just going to give you a high-level view of what I'm anticipating here on Bitcoin, but I want to remind you that we do 2 shows a week that is called Alt Season, that you might want to go ahead and join us in the Alt Season, where we're going into a lot more detail on our cryptos. All right. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, go ahead and subscribe to our channel, and also check out the description below. There's a lot of details below about what we do, all the how to connect with us social media wise. And also there's information about our trade copier and, of course, any tools that we use in our trading sessions. So check that out as well. And while you're down there, do me a favor, go ahead and smash the like button as well. Let's go ahead and get this video out to as many people as we can by beating the algorithm, beating the Google algorithm. And that's how we do it. All right, traders. Well, this is the thing with Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin, I'm going to be honest with you. I am a little bit concerned, but also a little excited, because we could make some sort of adjustments right here. I know that a lot of traders will be talking about, and there's been a lot of hype about Bitcoin going to 100,000, all right, even higher than that. And so I always look at the technicals, and I trust the technicals more than I trust people talking and hyping about what's going to go down. It has to make sense on the technicals for me. And so if I look over here on the technicals, this is what you need to understand. I'm looking at the at Bitcoin right now on a 4-hour time frame, and I noticed that we had some internal structure right here. And so I'm gonna go ahead and do some housekeeping, because I think it's important that we do this, because we did have numbers over here at the top that we expect the price to go to, but the biggest problem that I'm having right now is that price is getting back down a lot deeper than I anticipated. And so if I look over here and I start breaking down the setup, I also noticed that this, take a look here if I pop over the daily. This is what I noticed right here. I noticed that we had this big rally, right? This big rally going all the way from the bottom, all the way up here. Then we had a dip. Then we had another rally, all right? And the rally went just above that level there. And so what happens is when we have a pattern, forming in the form of a irregular flat, what does that tell us? Well, if we see a possible irregular flat pattern setting up, this is what it tells us. It tells us that we are going to have this type of structure. Price moves up, comes back down, takes out the high, then comes back inside. When it comes inside, it's then going to chase after the low right here, look for a deeper low, and then it's going to fire off. And so when I look at this is what concerns me a little bit about Bitcoin right now, is because we have that big wave structure right here. Call it our wave 1 right here. We had our wave 2 pullback, and now we're struggling to break above there. In fact, we came back inside, and if we start taking out these lows, guess what's going to happen? Price is going to want to go back down to retest that level, which is at around about 28,000. But when we get to that level, that's when we're going to turn around and head back up north. So there is this concern that Bitcoin might just be in that. Look, I hope I am wrong on this, okay? But I am going to take some like cautionary measures. And the cautionary measures I'm going to do is I'm going to look to put money on the side that can get me into at least one Bitcoin. So which means that, and you could do something different. But what I'm going to look for to do is possibly go ahead and put money on the side, maybe go ahead and use the money to invest into property, virtual property. I know Cameron's laughing at me right now, but we'll talk about that in the alt season. As thing is, either into property or into some NFTs. So there are NFT buying, and by the way, anytime we start seeing Ethereum starting to drop in value, it really pumps up NFTs, because NFTs are closely connected to, of course, Ethereum. Ethereum goes up, price of NFTs go up. So, or at least there's less flipping of NFTs. All right, because a lot of people are holding onto the NFTs because the value of Ethereum is actually going up. When the value of Ethereum is going down, people want to get rid of their NFTs. So there's a lot more flipping and a lot more trading with NFTs. So there's a lot of things that we want to go ahead and look at, and we'll talk about in the alt season. But again, coming back to Bitcoin right here, I do see a drop in Bitcoin. So what I probably would want to go ahead and do here is take a look and see, is there a coin that might be trading against Bitcoin that might actually look like it's set up differently and could see a rally against Bitcoin, or get it stronger against Bitcoin, or even balance it out so we don't lose a lot of Bitcoin and we can move our money back to Bitcoin. Let's take a look at this. I'm going to go to and change it over here to, let's just pull up Ethereum, right? Let's go Ethereum, Bitcoin right now. ETH and Bitcoin. And let's take a look at the way it's set up here on this chart. Now, again, I'm going to go to the 4-hour right here. And let's see if I've got enough data here. Okay, so this is the thing here. So if I look at ETH against Bitcoin, this makes me think that maybe I should not invest my money in ETH, and that Bitcoin's actually going to be better. But take a look over here. Here's the wave 1. Here's wave 2. And so if we are trading, so that's wave 3. If we are trading back below this level right here, guess what's going to happen? markets are going to come back down to the support. So it looks like Ethereum, Bitcoin could be range bound, but the problem here is we're at the top of the range. The only way this market's going to move is going to move back down to the bottom of the range. And if that's the case right here, then we could see Ethereum actually losing ground against Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to actually get stronger against Ethereum. And so maybe the better option here is to not have my money in Ethereum, because maybe we're going to lose a lot more money out of Ethereum than we are going to in Bitcoin. So there's definitely going to be a shift of a different movement between Ethereum, Bitcoin, altcoins, and all that good stuff. And so I think the best play right now, if you're looking at altcoins, is to look and see which altcoin is going to be a lot more that's going to move, because sometimes it happens. Sometimes we have Ethereum or Bitcoin dips, and we get a couple of the altcoins that start moving, and that's because we may have gaming projects that are launched, NFTs in the gaming industry or in the gaming space, and when that starts launching, then those particular projects are traded in, let's say, like Gala, Sand. It could be another affinity. XE Affinity? Sorry, XE Affinity. It could be. I don't have all the altcoins listed right now, but it could be that we could go ahead and invest into those coins that are going to give us a more stable return while Bitcoin is trying to work its details out. And so that's why I'm definitely, over the next couple of days, we're definitely going to dig more into what the market's actually going to be doing over this period, while we're trying to anticipate what we are going to see on Bitcoin movement. And if Bitcoin is going to go ahead and pull back the way we expect it to pull back, then maybe we need to start thinking about investing into something else to secure ourselves and protect our positions while Bitcoin's working itself out. But I'm going to tell you this much: if Bitcoin gets below 28,000, it's going to be a huge buy at that point right there. It's going to be so cheap and such a big opportunity to be able to get in there. But this is where I see cryptos at the moment right now. Again, join us in the session coming up in the next couple of days as we go into some more details about where the cryptos are going and what is the safest bet that I'm seeing, that I'm looking to get into over the next few months. So we'll talk about that then. With that being said, traders, it's going to be an interesting week. We'll see how the Feds go ahead and break it down as they go ahead and keep the rates unchanged. What is the next move going to be? And that's the same for the UK and for the Eurozone as well. We'll see how that breaks down. I think it's going to be an interesting week. Let's see what happens. So with that being said, have a fantastic week of trading. I'll see everyone in the next session. Thank you.